You know the drill. Favourite Hugo Weaving moment?
It's that time he reprised his role as Agent Smith for an advert for a company, and the company didn't realise how bad it looked to have a literal genocidal maniac as their spokesman. So they put Agent Smith in like, oh yes, I appreciate the efficiency of these machines. It's like, you know that character has to murder everyone, right?
He literally murdered the entire population of the entire Matrix and turned them into himself.
Yes.
Hello.
As hard as actors would have you believe acting is, you have to admit it sounds like a pretty sweet gig to sit in a comfortable recording booth somewhere for a few days and earn a few $1 million pretending to be, oh say, a giant unkillable robot. Oddly, Hugo Weaving doesn't share this view and had nothing but bad things to say about his time spent pretending to be Megatron.
I'm assuming some people aren't even aware that Hugo Weaving, Elrond and Agent Smith,
Yes.
was Megatron.
Exactly, because I don't think Hugo Weaving did any of the press tour for it. We'll get to it in a moment, but he did not give a fuck about this role. He did it just for the paycheck, and it was a very easy one, I would like to add. And if you don't have, the IMDb pages of the first 3 Transformers movies, committed to memory, yes, Hugo Weaving played the amalgamation of triangles masquerading as Megatron. God, the designs of the Transformers were so bad in those movies, weren't they? I remember seeing once this essay online deconstructing why the Transformers in those movies look so shit, based on literally a single image, and that is the one of Devastator's dangling pendulous wrecking ball nutsack. And it's this 2,000 word deconstruction of why this is so terrible. It's but this is literally Michael Bay teabagging the audience with his creations. It's so bad. It's the designs were so awful in those movies, weren't they? Right, to pull back the curtain a bit, the original article that I wrote that we're basing this video on, we're going to go through, I spent about 30 minutes trying to find a picture of Megatron where you can see his face. Because in every scene he's in, you can't tell what he looks like. It's just this mass of triangles. And it's so difficult to actually just pass the information you're seeing. And you compare that to I think it's the Bumblebee movie where they have more classic designs, when they're all back on Cybertron, and they look fucking beautiful. And they've got nice, clear, simple lines. Because they're fucking cartoons. It's oh man, I love that shit. It's so good.
I did find it weird how Optimus Prime in that on Cybertron, his design is very clearly the car that he turns into later on.
Yeah, it's what do you mean the car? He's always turned into a truck cab.
So is the assumption that humans, why is...
It doesn't matter. It was a series literally designed to sell toys, don't think about it too much. Optimus Prime always turned into a truck, it's fine.
Even on his home planet?
He always turns into a truck.
But why would he need to be a truck?
Because sometimes...
There's no humans to get into the truck.
But he needs to be a truck. Brad.
There's humans to sell toys to.
Yeah, Brad, he's a truck. Optimus Prime has always been a truck.
I want it explained!
Well, the thing is, I think Optimus Prime's backstory in the cartoon's amazing. Because it turns out that he was literally a factory worker who randomly just got promoted and just ended up saving freaking Cybertron. Yeah, I'm not kidding. He also died 3 times and came back. And I don't think it helps the case of the movie for people who want to defend it and say, oh no, it's a different take on the designs of the Transformers. That Megatron looks so much like Ivan fucking Ooze, right down to the stupid metal goatee. It's so bad. So ugly. And that's a movie, infamous for how shitty its CGI was. And I want you to put behind me right now, Brad, Megatron and Ivan Ooze. And I want people in the comments to tell me who did it better.
I was under the impression that they got all of the original voice actors back.
Well, they got most of them back, yeah. Because originally it was Frank Welker, I believe, who did the voice of Megatron. He's a journeyman voice actor who's the voice of fucking everybody.
Fred.
Yeah, he's Frank Welker is fucking... I believe he played Megatron originally. And they wanted to get in a more well-known actor. So I think Optimus Prime is still Peter Cullen. Because it's got to be fucking up. Who else are you going to get in? That voice iconic. But Megatron is just a fucking generic bad guy. So let's get an actor with some gravitas in their voice. And they brought in Hugo Weaving, who did not give a single solitary fuck about this role or the character. To the point where he literally phoned in half of his performance over Skype.
Wow.
Yeah. He literally phoned it in.
I was about to say, would you not be worried about there being bad quality? But then again, those robots talk with echoey, tinny voices
so
anyway.
Bad. Do you know what always cracks me up about this as well? Frank Welker, he's well known as he's one of the most prolific voice actors of all time. And there's a great story about for The Lion King, he was brought in an uncredited role as the roars of the lions. Because what they did originally is they recorded actual lions roaring and it didn't sound powerful enough. So you know what Frank Welker did? He just screamed into a trash can and they used that, and apparently that was good enough. And they didn't want this man being the voice of Megatron. So let's bring in Hugo Weaving. Let's give, because obviously I'm assuming that's like, oh yeah, he's the voice of Agent Smith. Like one of the most terrifying like digital creations of like, the past 20 years. And like, you just imagine that he just sat there, just literally phoning it in over Skype going, Autobots, fuck you. It's so bad. Because I'm just imagining him. Is it better or worse if he was sat there in either his pyjamas or if he's sat there dressed like Agent Smith? What in your head is a funnier image?
I reckon him sat naked.
Just over Skype.
He's just scratching his balls.
No, the camera's literally pointed at his nutsack the entire time. Is he just reading these lines off a script? So this is another thing I should point out. Hugo Weaving did no research whatsoever and didn't even bother reading the script. He literally just read his own lines without any context into a microphone in a recording booth and at home over Skype, collected his paycheck and fucked off. He did like no press material or anything like that. I think he did a couple of interviews where they ask him, he straight up just goes like, I don't know who the fuck Megatron is. What's a Megatron? He reminds me a lot of like Paul Bettany, right? Originally the voice of Jarvis in the Iron Man movies, where until he played Vision, he didn't read anything beyond his own lines. And there's an interview with him where they ask him like, oh, so how do you feel about all like the new fans coming up and asking you about like Iron Man and Marvel movies? He goes, I feel really bad because I don't watch those movies and I'm barely in them. And I feel like literally a thief because I come in, work for 3 days, sit there sipping coffee, reading lines and get paid $1 million. It's great. But at least he's honest about it. I appreciate the honesty there.
Well, how annoyed do you reckon he was when they were like, oh, we're going to get you in as this new character Vision. Do I have to leave my recording booth? Yeah. You have to put on these like 20 hours of fucking shit-ass makeup.
And then they put him in a TV show, which I bet you what, the reason in like Infinity War where he's not wearing the fucking makeup is because Paul Bettany's like, are you being serious? Like, Nebula is in this movie. Like, it takes so long to put her makeup. Like, all the characters with all the makeup. Can I not just play me and say Vision's got magic powers? So fine. So I bet in like the TV show that's coming out, like Wanda and Vision, like he is Paul Bettany all the time. He's just Paul Bettany it up.
I'd love it if he just walked over to the gauntlet. There was just the prop gauntlet. Just pulled one of the stones off, glued it on his head, and went, "Look,
I'm
done.
I'm Vision. It's done. It's done."
Cinemas have already referred to the original article already.
Yes.
Yeah, I just sort of glanced over and I realised that there's something that I'm assuming is going to come up at some point. So you may as well get it out of your system.
Transformers Devastation. If you're talking about the Transformers, how shit they look in those movies, like I would argue that the Transformers have never looked better than they did in Transformers Devastation. Obviously, the new Bumblebee movie, they use the old designs, but you can put in like the highest quality clip you can find of Transformers Devastation. That game looks fucking beautiful. And I'm going to mention it because you can't stop me, it's my channel. We're going to talk about the Starscream space fight.
We've mentioned this about 20 times.
I'm mention it every time we talk about Transformers. Which is a lot because I love the Transformers. And that's a fight where you get to fight Starscream in space and assume Ferrari form and punch him in the dick. Or you can be Grimlock, who is a dumbass dinosaur who speaks in the third person and his fighting style revolves around suplexes. And you can do dinosaur-assisted suplex combos with Grimlock while saying Grimlock smash. And that shit's the hypest. Not to mention, Grimlock has potentially one of my favourite moves in any character action game, which is he grabs the enemy by the leg, runs with them behind him, and then just slams them into the ground. Mate, you talked about fucking Raziel and Legacy of Kain and Magic the Gathering and all that bullshit. I'll be sat here on camera looking like a lemon. You're so hype. Clippings, hype.
I'm surprised you haven't made me play it yet.
We've got it on stream. Look forward to that one, ladies and gents.
I mean, this one's going to be coming out in about 7 or 8 weeks' time.
Exactly. We better have the Office by then. It's fun fact we get an Office too.
But if we're going to play this, that might already be, we may have recorded it and it might already be on yours on my channel.
There we go. Check it out. Check it out in the description. It's just above the comment section. Don't check that bit. I am such an asshole.
So how long did it take Hugo Weaving to record all of these lines?
Well, for the first 3 movies, before they replaced him with someone else, he recorded all of the Megatron lines in less time than it would take to watch the first Transformers movie, and he was paid a cool $200,000 for each appearance, roughly. Not a bad day, is it?
No, not really.
Literally 3 hours work, gets paid $200,000, then $200,000 again, and $200,000 again. Easiest fucking paycheck of his entire career, and he still shits on it. And there's this amazing interview where he just shits all over the Transformers movies for about 10 minutes, saying they're terrible, they're meaningless, they're like an affront to culture, they're like the opposite of art. I was never on set. I never met Michael Bay. I don't know who Michael Bay is. I just got a letter from my agent and I turned up. And the best bit as well, he openly admits, like, I don't even know who the fuck he is. I've never seen a Michael Bay movie.
Wait, he's never seen any Michael Bay movie?
No, which of course means that Hugo Weaving has never seen Bad Boys 2. Oh, Nick Frost and Sam Pegg will be very upset with you, Hugo, but it's okay, because you're fucking terrifying.
I think everyone who's watching this should go to Nick Frost's Twitter and tweet at him and say,
don't do that. I don't want to.
Hugo Weaving ain't seen Bad Boys 2.
Do not use the platform for harassing celebrities. We're not big enough to get away with it yet.
Are you saying there's going to be a point in the future where I can send the entire fan base to Nick Frost?
To be fair, there is a person on this platform who is already big enough to like post like video footage of dead bodies, and another one who can like hold up signs saying "Death to all Jews" and get away with that shit. So yeah, this bit's not going in.
This is extended edition.
Hello, people in the extended cut.
You want to say something?
No.
All right, fair enough. Say why you're here in the extended cut.
Welcome to the depths of the bowels of the extended cut.
Welcome to the extended cut. The bits that Brad cuts out because he doesn't want to start YouTube drama.
They occasionally make it in. There's literally a video where a picture of PewDiePie slides across and you mention Nazis.
What a dickhead.
So is Michael Bay aware of this?
Oh yeah, Michael Bay is keenly aware of these comments by Hugo Weaving because he's not a man known for his subtlety, and when news of this interview reached Michael Bay, he got understandably quite annoyed at Hugo Weaving shitting all over his precious Transformers babies. And in a now deleted blog post, basically called Hugo Weaving an asshole and told him, if you don't like being in my movies, if you think they're so meaningless, if you just phoned it in for a paycheck and you don't think there's any value to what you've created, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and donate the salary you got for those movies to a charity for elephants?
Why elephants?
Apparently Michael Bay loves elephants. I don't fucking know. I don't give a fuck. Like, Michael Bay loves elephants. Who knew? Maybe the Mastodons or some shit like that. He's not a man known for his subtlety, a big dumbass creature that can headbutt his way through a brick wall. Sounds exactly like something Michael Bay would like.
It does upset me how there hasn't been an elephant transformer.
Oh, sorry?
It does upset me how there hasn't yet been an elephant transformer.
Probably is in Beast Wars. I don't remember Beast Wars enough though. I remember Scorponak. Or, you gotta remember, who's the bee one with the stupid voice? The bee guy! He talks like a bee. Maybe it was Bumblebee. No. I don't know. I think it's Waspinator. It's Waspinator. Put in a clip of Waspinator. Waspinator's a right dude. I love his voice.
Waspinator.
I love Waspinator. Joe, let's go. Who's got discounting obviously Optimus Prime because you can't be defeated. Which Transformer has got the best voice?
Starscream.
I'm going to say Starscream. Okay, let's try one again. So Brad needs to come in first because he's got the microphone. So I can respond to you, but it doesn't show up on mic. With that in mind, which Transformer has the best voice? Discounting Optimus Prime.
You're taking Optimus away?
No, because Optimus is going to win. We're going to say Optimus is going to win, so hands down. So, with not mentioning Optimus Prime, which Transformer has the best voice?
I'm stealing Starscream.
Damn it! No, that was going to be my line. She's like, prepare to be lost in space. Autobot is so good. Such a good fucking voice.
Let us know in the comments who your favourite voice is.
Hello, extended cuts again. If you're nicking Starscream, I'm going to go for the samurai one with a really racist Asian accent. Because you know that Michael Bay himself was like, yeah, that's good. Put that in. Closely followed by the really racist black ones that he gives. Fuck. So you just go out and you just go, oh, maybe, Michael.
In all honesty, I think there were a lot of bits in that movie where Michael Bay was looking at it going, yeah, that's cool. And everyone else went, no.
No, Michael. Like the bit where you have Megan Fox and she's wearing the black outfit and then she takes off the black leather outfit underneath the virginal white dress and she drapes herself across the car. And Michael Bay personally is lowering the camera to her asshole. Just flying right up in there.
I thought you meant Michael Bay lowering the camera to cover up his huge erection.
It's like, fucking hell. It's like, Michael, come on. Not a man known for his subtle... this is a man who in one of his movies had two rats fucking jackhammer style.
That's it. They fuck just like we do.
Oh, Michael.
If we're going to invoke the extended cut again, have you ever seen the racist Gundam designs from Wing?
I have not.
There's one which is just a giant sombrero.
You know what, though? I want to see that in Pacific Rim. I want to see, the British fucking Jaeger I want to see it like it's basically got it's a teapot for an head.
It's a huge cup of tea.
Yeah, it's got a teapot for an head, and he's just like talking to stereotype like, well.
You got the Scottish one with like a robot kilt, and when he lifts it up, his cannons below it.
Oh, you know what? If Michael Bay ever gets his hands on Pacific Rim, I'm sure we'll see that.
So did anyone take Michael Bay up on this offer to donate money to elephants?
I don't think so, no, because as I mentioned, he deleted the blog post, and I'm presuming that's because Michael Bay, in this same blog post, offered to match any donations made by Weaving. And I'm thinking now that if, all the actors in Hollywood who'd taken a role just for the paychecks had to take Michael Bay up on the offer, he'd have been stuck making Transformers movies to match that amount of money till the heat death of the universe. Then again, given how many of those fucking things are slated for release over the next 20 years, maybe they did. I guess we all never find out.
I actually haven't watched much Transformers beyond the terrible Bay movies.
Oh man, you're missing out, because there's some even more terrible, dumb stuff in the original cartoons, which I'm a huge fan of and I've watched multiple times. Like, for example, did you know that Megatron just turned into a gun?
Wasn't that what he transformed
Yeah,
into?
his Transformer was just a gun, and Starscream used to shoot it. And then Starscream would miss every time because he couldn't fire the gun.
Was that because the gun was Megatron sized?
That's how he just turned into a gun. And then, I think the very first episode of Transformers, Starscream openly tells Soundwave, Megatron isn't fit to lead. One day I'll betray him and take over. And Soundwave, if you don't remember, is a fucking boombox. And could have recorded this conversation, but he doesn't. And he never tells Megatron that Starscream's going to betray him. Also, as well, do you know Optimus Prime? He can dunk a basketball.
I mean, I don't doubt that he could, but why is that relevant?
No, there's a clip, and you put the clip, it's great, but there's an episode of Transformers, the original cartoon, where Optimus Prime just dunks a basketball, and he does it over the head as well. It's like, yeah, he could do it. I want to see that in a movie. I want to see Space Jam with Transformers. Why is that not a thing? Why can't we have that movie, Brad?
Because there's no explosions in it.
Well, it's fair. There would be if I made it. You don't think this basketball's going to explode when it gets dunked? But, oh man, I love the Transformers. Like, the movies that Michael Bay, they were terrible, but I do like how literally every plot of every one of those movies hinges on Optimus Prime just finally going, fuck this, I'm going to win. It's like, is it the second movie where every individual Autobot gets their shit pushed in until Optimus Prime goes into the forest and just says, if you want to have me, fucking bring it on, gets his twin fire axes out and proceeds to kill every fucking Decepticon with ease? It's like, and he does that in every movie, doesn't he? Like in the new one, the Bumblebee one, he takes on the entire Decepticon army on his own. It's like, why do you even need the Autobots? You're good enough on... Because he sends all the Autobots off to Earth, and then the plot happens, and it keeps cutting back to Cybertron, where you just see Optimus Prime on his own, fighting the entire Decepticon army, like, without even trying. There's a shot of, 1,000 fucking, Decepticons surrounding Optimus' head going... I think maybe you've got the upper hand on this one, guys. It reminds me of my favourite moment in a video game, which is in Halo 3, when you get the white elite, the fucking legendary elite from Halo 2, that fucks everyone, like the invincible, unkillable elite, who teams up with the Arbiter and just cuts swathes through the flood. And it's like, you get him, he's part of the huge blockade, the armada that's going to take out the brute threat. And someone goes to him, sir, their ships outnumber us 10-1. And he just goes, then it is an even fight. And you're like, oh, it's so good! Yes! Put that guy in charge! That's what Optimus Prime's like. So he's in a forest surrounded by 40 Decepticons. It's like, he's basically doing the Kung Pao thing, just counting how many people he's got to kill. He's like that moment in Equalizer when Denzel Washington just times his watch and goes, all right, I've got 30 seconds to whoop all your asses. Come on. You first.
It's loosely on topic, but yesterday I watched Dracula Untold again.
Oh, why? Why do you hate life?
But there's that scene in that where he first gets the power and he goes up against 1,000 men and he wipes them all out. And a messenger brings it back to the leader of the enemy's army and says, Vlad has just wiped out 1,000 of our men. And he goes, then we'll need 100,000 more. And I was like, you've just heard this one man has massacred the whole force you sent. Why would you even bother at that point?
Why would you think 1,000 was at that point? Is like, if 1,000 men can't do it, 100,000 men definitely can't, because all you need to do is get a bottleneck and they walk in one at a time. It's like the moment in 300, isn't it? Where I've got an army of millions. It doesn't matter if you've got to fight us one-on-one and we're gonna win because we're fucking Spartans.
Was that famous story of the guy is at Stamford Bridge?
Yes.
And the people obviously will keep telling us to do, even though everyone knows the story.
The Viking of Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, the guy who stood there and it was like 3 men wide and he managed to hold it for hours.
Yeah, he held off the entire English army for about like 4 hours.
Wasn't there a Dynasty Warriors campaign a bit like that as well?
There is, yes.
Yeah.
Lubu, do not pursue him. No, just Optimus Prime is so fucking cool. And every movie he does something more badass, and it makes you realise like every other member of the Transformers is completely fucking useless. Why are they even in here? They are fodder for like the Decepticons.
We know
They need a bigger range of toys.
I mean, it's all he's doing is giving all the other Autobots are doing in those movies is giving the Decepticons XP. Like, they're leveling up the Decepticons.
But that's so that Optimus gets a better fight. That's why they're there.
Optimus is basically sending his own men in so he can level up the enemies to get better loot. That's why he gets better. That's why Optimus Prime has cooler weapons in each subsequent sequel.
Because the loot drops from the higher level enemies.
He's done it. That's how he does.